President Yoon Suk Yeol has laid out unprecedented reform plans reaching all corners of people's lives, which he says will make their lives better. One of them is raising the number of med school enrollment seats. Let's turn to Professor Song Se-ryun for more. Welcome back.
Good morning.
Good morning. The increase in the med school enrollment seats has come as quite a shock, especially for those doctors on strike, considering the quota hasn't changed this dramatically in recent years. Now, why is the Yoon administration so eager to push ahead with the plan? I mean, why now?
Well, the medical reform is not a new issue. Remember, back in 2000, there was a big walkout of doctors with the similar issues. But why now? Probably the standard answer from the government would be, well, that's what government does, push ahead with the key issues. But at this point, it's about 50 days ahead of the general election, and the key issues are on the minds of the public. I think that timing-wise, there is a felt need from the government to push this, to highlight the government's efforts to address people's issues. That was the result of the recent elections and the perceived message from the public that the government should work harder to address their issues.
Right, Professor Song, like my colleague reported, there's such a strong opposition from doctors who are on strike. Do you personally think the medical reform plan is something that still must be implemented despite those strong opposition?
Well, some form of medical reform should have been implemented methodically with a carefully laid out plans. I think the problem of the government's plan at this point, the big sticking point, is that it seems to be going for the shock value. I mean, the public agrees with the sentiment that there should be more doctors, but the medical reform is required because some doctors are congregating over key medical areas and in key medical regions rather than spreading out evenly. That's because the Korean medical system is a part of the social welfare system, and the medical fees are artificially suppressed somewhat. So that distorted or beneficially distorted system needs to be tweaked out in a very carefully planned methodologies. But that, from the doctor's point of view, that has not been done, and the government is just going for a shock value ahead of the general election.
Right, and the med school quota hike came out of the so-called policy discussions with citizens, where not only ministries but also ordinary people take part in briefings where related ministries draw their fresh goals and plans for the year ahead. Do you think it's just as effective, the discussions with the policy discussions with citizens, and engaging as the government wishes?
Yeah, as a general matter, it is always a good thing to engage with stakeholders and let the public know what the government is doing. I think the criticism is that it should have been held more often and earlier. It seems like after the president has taken the helm, not a lot of communication on the key issues have taken place. Remember, there was a big reform plan that he laid out, and everybody was in agreement on it. But after 1 year or 1.5 years, it seems like not much progress has been made. But it seems like because there is an election, there seems to be a big messages coming out. So people are saying that, well, is this real, or is it going to be a concerted, very methodical approach to address the real issues?
Right. All right, Professor Song Se-ryun, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it as always.
My pleasure. Thank you.